Let's keep on going down our refactor list. So now we say that we need to update the audit log status when an overtime item is marked as rejected. So let's actually open up a terminal. Oh, we don't, I can show you in the real app. So I'll pop this open and we'll take a look at what this looks like right now and see what we need to do in order to really kind of round it off, because right now we only have half of what we really need on that callback side. Okay, so right now if I request overtime for something, say the week of the 20th, so if I say 30 hours of overtime, I was really busy, the week of the 20th, right, we'll say the 22nd, hit save, this all works, and if I come here, it's disappeared. That's fine, and if I come to entries, and I believe this is going to be the very last on the last one. Yeah, so there is our overtime reached, and right now it's submitted. But what happens if this gets rejected? So what happens if they put 30 hours, but it turns out that that was actually off? It should have been 3 hours or something like that. The manager wants to be able to reject it. Right now, that will not put another button here on the queue. So we need to say if it's rejected, then we need to put it back, and if the post is rejected, we need to find any audit logs for that time period, and we need to mark them as pending. So let's come back and see where we want to do this. So right now we say after save, the update the audit log. But this is really only telling half the story. So what we need to do is say update the audit log, and let's see, if it is marked as submitted, then we want to do this. But if it's marked as rejected, then we want to do something else. So we're going to change this. So I'm going to say, instead of update audit log, I'm going to say confirm audit log if, and then I just pass submitted. And then we can say here and say reject, or we could say unconfirm if rejected. Okay, so right here we need to change this, and then we really just need to update it. And I'm trying to think, there may be a better, there's definitely a better way of doing it. Let's do the very bad way first, and then we will refactor it. Okay, so here we want to say pending, I believe. Let's look at, yeah. So we want to mark it as pending and verify this. Obviously this is duplicate code. We don't want to do this, but let's start it, get it working here, because we don't want to perform a refactor before we know if it's working or not. So start up the Rails server and see what happens. Okay, so let's go to the browser, and as a admin, I'm in the Heroku app, and so let's see, am I an admin? Yes, I am an admin. I'm gonna look at the entries, or I'm sorry, not the entries. I'll have to look at the one that we had, because remember we're going to have it here. So let's go down to the very bottom. This is the one, date submitted is, or date created was 7/22. Let's see, review, and it's submitted. This is for 3. Let's see, we need the one for 30. So let's see why that one is not showing up. And did I, hold on. This isn't an issue with our code implementation, it's just with me trying to find the record. Okay, so I'm going to go to entries, look at the last one, and see this is record number 101, and it is in submitted mode, so it should be on our page, or if not, we have an issue. So record 101, and oh, it is right here. If I click review, interesting. Okay, so we have a little bit of a bug here. Notice this. Review is saying that the overtime request was 3 hours, but when I created it, it was 30. So yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about that at this moment. I'm going to put that as something, I may have just misread it. You watching at home are probably more in the know on that one than me. I'm just going to say check on data issue and verify correct hours are being tracked, because that'd be a very weird bug. Okay, so anyway, we found this one, and I'm going to mark this one as rejected. So if I mark this one as rejected, then our user, let me pull this up one more time. I'm going to have both of these, and let me actually put them side by side so we can see them at the same time. So our regular user has no items to review here, but or they have no pending items. But if I mark this as rejected, so it was edited successfully, current stage of approval is rejected. If I come back home, let's see if this is okay, and it's gone, which is good because we don't want it to be showing up there. And now if I hit refresh, there you go. So now this is back. So everything is working perfectly. So if the manager rejects it, it'll pop this back up, and then they'll have the option to either request overtime approval again, or to be able to or they want to be able to, you just say, oh, actually, yeah, no, I didn't have overtime. Let me try one other thing here. Here we can see this one's rejected, and if I, okay, yeah, that's, everything is good on that side. So if it's rejected, I want to keep a log of it, and we don't want them to be able to edit it. So right here, everything is, or I'm sorry, we don't want them obviously to be able to edit the status, and we tell them just enter a new one in, because they want to keep track, the client said they want to keep track of all of them even if it's rejected, so they don't want the person to say you resubmit it or anything like that. They'd want it to resubmit from scratch. So this is on the 20th. I'm going to do the 30 thing again and see, just to see. Okay, so that was the 22nd, I believe, or I believe it was the 20th. We can do the 23rd. Put this in, hit save, and now it's gone. So that's good. And if I come back here and hit refresh, and now we have this one over here to review, so I can review, and it is showing the right time. So I must have edited it and just forgot that I did. Okay, and now if I hit approve, hit save, it's gone, hit refresh over here, and everything's good. So this is all working. Awesome. Let's go back to the console really quick. And I'm going to run rspec just to make sure we're not breaking anything with our callbacks. And for regression purposes, I may want to eventually put some tests in, but I'm not going to worry about it right now because, like I said, I don't like testing things that are built into Rails. Okay, so 38 examples, all passing. We are good to go. So get status. I'm going to say integrated callback for rejections. Git push. Git push Heroku. And lastly, I will clean up our data. And so I'll run Heroku run rake db setup so that we have a fresh pile of data and we're never working with old. I can tell you from experience that if you leave really old data on there, or if you make changes, especially significant changes, and you go back and you don't refresh the data, you'll end up with some really weird bugs that turn out to not have anything to do with your code, but have everything to do simply with your data, or your sample data at that. Okay, so this is going to run. And if everything is good here, we're good to go. Awesome. Let's open this up. So need to update audit log status when overtime is rejected. That is good. Okay, so next things is going to be to work on these buttons. So we'll see what we can get through on that on the next video.